there. You're listening to Zolimoli's Thoughts and Knots podcast, where I talk about the things that interest me or the things that bothers me, but most of the time it would be the things that I could not talk out loud in real life. Yeah. And for whatever reason it is, because I just cannot open up my feelings, thoughts, and opinions to human beings. And that is just about it. However, I feel more at ease to open up my thoughts in form of podcasts, because if I just do a 10-minute video, like how most YouTubers be like very funny 10-minute video and then they just talk about things that they want, then hey, probably I'll be more famous like that. But at the same time, 10 minutes is just not enough for me. Because if you've been listening to my previous episode, some episode just happens to be like 2 hours, 1 hour, and it's a big achievement or a big feat. Not a big feat, what do you call that? It's something for a person who is quiet in real life yet can talk for 1 hour and plus on his own in front of a camera and a mic. Because when you think about it, it seems like, wow, this guy has a lot of things to say. And that is why 1 hour is not enough, 10 minutes is not enough, so I'll just make it 30 minutes. Give and take, plus minus. So yes. How's life? Hope everyone's doing great. Me, to be honest, I'm not doing that great. Not only that, my leg keeps on cramping and my toe is cramping. But right now I have an ulcer, which makes it hard for me to talk or eat. And what's worse is that my teeth is sensitive as hell after scaling. And yeah, it's uncomfortable to talk or use anything or to do anything that requires me to use my mouth, like talking or eating, even breathing or even sleeping. Long story short, it's just uncomfortable. Every single morning my ulcer be like, good morning, and then teeth sensitivity be like super sensitive, be like, hey there, and I must put up with that. Oh well, but hey, life goes on and it is okay. What am I going to talk about, eh? I wanted to talk about death, but at the same time, that is a hell lot of a heavy topic. Because considering the circumstances and issues happening, death is not something that I can just say, hey, you will be missed. Hell no. Some people just die or pass away in a way that is unacceptable or unnatural cause. Probably by guns, probably by getting killed by police. You know, some things are just not fair. But if I were to talk just about one side of a topic, one side of a coin, then the other side is remain unseen, then it's just, to me personally, I feel unfair. Because if I were to talk about one side of a coin or one side of a topic, it could take probably 30 minutes plus. And if I were to talk two sides of it, then it would take another 30 minutes plus. As much as using lesser words to explain something. To explain something in lesser time will make you feel like hey, this guy knows his shit. I mean, probably, but at the same time, something just are not worth, not really worth, it's more of a, it's not enough. Although I can just say what I think, my insights. Take it or go. Take it and go. That is all I can say when it comes to insights or opinions. Because you cannot please the whole world, is what I keep on reminding myself. Yet I try to do that. So, I think I know what I'm going to talk about. This has been in my mind ever since yesterday, probably 2 days ago. I mean, as I said, I can talk about death because we're like, since we're in the pandemic, some people lost their beloved ones because of the COVID, because of the pandemic. Some just, their beloved ones happens to pass away from a natural cause, or even some parts of the world, people are getting killed. Even in Malaysia, some are, died in custody, which needs more investigation, if I must say out loud, because to quote what I said, do not bring American stupidity to Malaysia. Because we do not need more stupidity and old way of thinking. I don't know what's the synonym, because every time I say old way thinking, old way teaching, there should be a synonym for it, which I always forgot to search. Well, you know what? Let's just search for it. What is? No, not what is. Old way teaching synonym. The number one method for you to search for something on the internet or Google, especially when you're questioning something, is to view or question how dumb people view. And when I say dumb, it's not really like, hey, you're dumb and that's bad. No, dumb can be good. In a way, if you want to be smarter, because the way you view things are simpler. Like, when you're, for instance, if you want to play guitar, you do not start with how to play, very complicated riffs. You start with how to hold a guitar, where to buy a guitar, the very simple, very first baby steps. And that is one way how you can search your answers on the internet, because some people do not know how to use Google. They have this idea where, hey, I have this question, and then whenever I say Google it, Google is there. I mean, it's a bad way to teach people, but if you're an adult and you have no answers to it, Google is something that can, teach you or something, a thing or two. Although do not trust 100% articles. Facts, yes. But articles, do not trust 100%, because why? If you do not read the newspapers or articles, you're misinformed. You're uninformed. If you do not read newspapers or articles, you're uninformed. But if you read too much of newspapers and news and articles, you're misinformed. Once quoted by Denzel Washington. Which is true. And I couldn't find what is the synonym of old way teaching. Well, you know what? Irony, because I said how to search things on the internet, how to Google for your answers, and I couldn't find. Probably because I'm trying to rush this podcast into not expanding or extending the duration and time limit of searching whatever I'm trying to search. Anyways, What am I going to talk about? Okay, I remember. There's this, in the world of comics and superheroes, pretty much most of us admire them because they're ideal. But I have this one hero that I hate, and it is Superman. I really hate him. The way he thinks, the way he holds his responsibility. I mean, if you've read like comics, you would understand. But if you haven't been reading comics, it's okay. I'll explain a few nerdy issues. I mean, I cannot cover the whole issues because there's a lot of comics and it's not linear. There's always the story, and it's never one linear cinematic universe. It's always, hey, there's this story, how about we tell about this story? And it's okay because that's how a comic works. And one of the reasons why I hate Superman is because he thinks that every lives he has to like be responsible and save, and to like share one short issue to explain how he thinks and works is that there's this one scene where Superman has like a dinner with Batman and Wonder Woman, but Superman is late. Irony. He's late to a dinner with his colleagues, but he is never late to save other people's lives. And yeah, since he was late, Batman called him. I mean, it's a very casual date, no capes, no masks, just real life casual friend dinner. And so, since he's late, Batman be like, hey, you're gonna be late, is it? And Superman said, yes, work and all, but it's okay, just wait, I'll be there in a jiffy, in a minute or two. And so, okay, hangs up. And since Wonder Woman, Diana is it, and Bruce Wayne be like, they bet, is he gonna be late or is he gonna be on time? And yeah, that's the bet. I mean, I don't know what happens up on the bet because because I only read that part where it explains how his thinking or way of doing things. Since he's gonna be late, but then Superman be like, okay, I'm gonna fly instead of just driving a car. So he flew, and as he on his way to the dinner with his friends or colleagues, he has the time to save dogs, to extinguish fires, to save anyone that he passed by on his way to his friend's dinner. And yeah, that kind of irked me because he has this one mindset where everything is going to be under his responsibility. People's lives are his responsibility. And I hate that way of thinking. Because if you're nerdy or geeky about superheroes, DCs and Marvels, there's a lot of heroes, am I right? But Superman just chose to be like, I am the only one, and I can save everyone no matter what. Isn't that kinda not selfish? Okay, probably selfish, but not selfless? To a point where if you've ever read Injustice, or if you played the game Injustice, you know what made Superman become evil. His wife died because he could not save his wife. Because I mean, the story is like uh, Joker held Lois Lane hostage since Lois Lane was pregnant, and he sent Superman's wife Lois Lane to space without any air or oxygen support. And at the same time, Superman has to save thousands of lives because I think Joker was setting a bomb, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure, but Superman was like has to split between saving his wife or his pregnant wife or saving Metropolis. And he chose to save Metropolis and then go to his wife. And guess what? His pregnant wife, Lois Lane, who was pregnant, died. And because of that, he had this crisis in his head. I could have saved her. I could have saved everyone. Why couldn't I do this? And he became mad. He became crazy. He killed Joker, which is something that in the superheroes world, the heroes will never kill. Always take them to prison, things like that. And that is where Superman becomes the evil Superman in Injustice. And here's the thing, the reason why I hate him. Because I feel him. Oh my god. Everything is under me. Everything, I need to be responsible with anything. I mean, I'm not trying to say I'm Superman or something. But the idea, the way that I've been raised, or the idea that people around me give me, like, Hazel, take care, take responsibility of this. And even if so, like, it's not under my care. Like, for instance, the food that I cook, okay, supposedly I could have just, after eating and then there's leftovers, I could have just put it in the fridge. However, I have this expectation where my siblings would be like, tolong letak dalam fridge, because I stood for 2 hours and then I have to like think of podcasts. I mean, at the same time, I could just have segregate and just wait for like, hey, podcast can wait, just do the kitchen work. But at the same time, I am just one human holding responsibility of the kitchen on my own. I mean, at the same time, I actually can, but it can be overwhelming sometimes. I mean, it's not just kitchen work, kitchen responsibility. There are other things that I feel pressured to take responsibility. And since I forgot to put the food that I cook in the fridge, sometimes just left on the stove, and the next day it would be, rotten, basi. And the first person to realize that would be my mom. And she would be like, because she's the one who's paying the food. And she's very expressive. Good. Congratulations for being expressive with things that you don't like. However, some people just do not express their distasteful or their, like me, I cannot express like, god damn it, the food that I cooked turned rotten because I forgot to put it in the fridge. I mean, it's my careless mistake, but if it happened twice, it feels worse. Because I have this expectation that someone would help me to put it in the goddamn fridge, but yet, I guess I have to do it on my own again. Why is it that the eldest has always been like, hey, I can depend on you. Please depend on the other siblings, if I must say. At the same time, you know what? Who am I to complain in this family, kan? I mean, even if in the world. I mean, different cultures, probably different lah. But Asian culture, we're Malaysian, we're Asian still. No matter who you are, Chinese, Indian, Malay. The eldest is pretty much responsible for every single shit. And the parent will be like, hey, you will need to be, we will depend on you. I mean, hey, that's the eldest. However, I'm not trying to discriminate the other siblings' position, because why? I know that the middle has, like, the middle and the youngest also have their own struggle, which is being pressured to become more like the eldest. Please be more like your eldest brother. Please be more like your eldest sister. And comparing is something that I always hate. Like, under what mind, or whatever you're thinking is, what makes you think that is a good thing to compare, since our positions are different to begin with. If families treat everyone equal, like not really equal like I can punch you anytime I want or something, it's just that everyone is responsible for every single thing, not just one single person has to be burdened by a single responsibility, is what I think. It would be a people, every single human or families in the world would have been happier. Probably it's because of position, but at the same time, I don't know, don't compare yourself lower, and don't compare lah, just, but yeah, pretty much to go back to the main topic, is that the reason why I hate Superman is because he holds responsibility for every single lives in Metropolis. And I hate that because I relate to that, not because I can save people. It's just that I feel that the house, or responsibilities and works in my house, I take full responsibility. And then if something bad happens, not only that, I feel like, in the long story, I just feel bad, like, oh crap, I could have done better. See, nothing should be under your own. It can be like, it's a collective responsibility, so that you don't have to burden on your own, is what I think. God. It is frustrating somehow. Yeah, it is frustrating. I'm sure people can relate to that. And once again, I'm not trying to discriminate, the positions in siblings, because I understand. Because most of my friends are not the eldest, and I get more insights from them. Like, Zul, I mean, because since most of my friends are not the eldest, one of my friend gave me told me something that kind of opened my eyes. Because I used to be strict to my siblings, because hey, you should be like this, you should be like that. But at the same time, I did not realize that they were under pressure. They were being pressured to be more like me when they are trying also. To say incapable or capable, it's just that since there is the idea of pressure to be better than the eldest, the youngest and the middle also feel like, god damn it, I'm not doing well enough when they are trying their hardest. Is what I think lah. And my friend told me that he has an older brother, and he likes it better if his brother was more open and talkative rather than strict and uptight. And I was like, why? Because we're siblings, we're family. We just don't want someone to be like more of a general when you're actually siblings. I mean, I kind of twisted a bit because I forgot what he said, but that's the line of what he said. To be more not uptight to your siblings. This is for the eldest. Do not be uptight to your siblings. I mean, some eldest are pretty much very, friendly with their with their siblings, younger siblings. I mean, that is good, which means you were raised nicely, or pretty much you have a very nice mindset of treating people. Some people just have it rough. So, now, some people, whenever they're in a bad position or have a bad attitude, doesn't mean they are bad from the root. It's just that they have a struggle or a very sad, not really sad, just a bad backstory. I know what people say, whatever lah. But yeah, that's a very weird thing, right? Talking about I hate Superman and then suddenly why I hate him is because I relate to how he thinks. I think we all understand this. Whenever we have this someone, or for instance, we have this struggle, and then somehow you saw another person with the same struggle. Some people would be like, hey, I relate to you. Let's be friends. Let's talk about it. But some people are like, if they're in a better position, but they have the same struggle, pretty much you would hate that other person. Because why? Why do you, not really why do you, it's more of a, I hate you because I relate to you. And I hate the way, it's like hating on yourself to begin with. Pretty much I do hate myself sometimes. But not to an extent where I would stab myself. But at the same time, if there's clones of me, for instance, just another twin of me, like me and exact another me, I wouldn't hesitate to kill, because people around me do not need to treat or handle another complicated Zodi Moli, is what I think. And plus, I would end the other clone, so that the other me wouldn't have to suffer the things that I think that would happen. When I say would happen, meaning that it always happens. When I say always happens, here's one misfortune that I have. Whenever I order food deliveries like Foodpanda, Grab food or something, my food tends to be forgotten or smaller. When I say smaller, I say this. KFC gave me chicken wings, not really even chicken, probably bird wings, when my family got like very big pieces. And I was like, okay. At first I was like, okay, I'm feeling a bit depressed because it was dinner and I'm going to have to eat just chicken wings. I mean, if I were to compare myself lower, which I do not want to, do not do that. People don't even have food on their plate. Here's the thing, please do not compare yourself lower. You can compare yourself lower if you can help, like trying to be empathic. Be empathy, and then you can have the capability to help the one you are comparing yourself lower. Like when I say comparing yourself lower, is that you're in a good position, yet you think, oh, it's either comparing yourself to someone who has a better position, or to compare yourself who has a worse position. Long story short, comparing yourself is not a thing that you should do to yourself. Because why? You know you, and if there's something good happens to you, celebrate it for yourself. And if you want to spread that happiness or that benefit and you want people to feel the same, like for instance helping the ones who are unfortunate, if you are capable, like with a lot of money, long story short, then donate or give food to them. That way you don't feel so bad about comparing yourself. It's like, oh, someone's haven't eaten for a week because they don't have money. Are you gonna feel super duper bad and then just be like, okay, I'm not gonna eat for another week when you have a lot of money? You're just making the ones who are below you feel worse and not okay because why? Oh, you have money but you're not using it. Because I don't have money and I'm not eating. How do you feel? Yeah. Long story short, just do not compare yourself. If you want to compare yourself, it's called being empathy. And when you're trying to be empathic, trying to empathize, to sympathize to the unfortunates, then you need to have the capabilities, at least to help so that they don't feel that way. Hmm. Yeah, which is very weird. Anyways, that is all from today's episode, where I talk about I hate Superman because I hate him, and also comparing yourself lower or comparing yourself to a person who is better than yourself, whatever. Because I just winged this. I winged this episode. I was talking about something else and then I re-record it for like as usual. I will always do this. Re-record, keep on re-recording a lot of times for one single episode, and the episode that I release is pretty much something that I just wing or improv because I do that better. Although at the same time, I need to practice myself to follow scripts. Well done scripts is more of a to follow notes so that I don't feel like not but I feel regretful for not being able to talk about what I want to talk about. Yeah. I think that is all from Zolimoli's Thoughts and Nuts podcast. 지금까지 Zolimoli でした. Bye bye.